If you understand this message, you will never marry like a fool again. Marriage was never about love, and that is why society is panicking today. Listen carefully, because I am going to be very brutal on this video. Modern society has lied to you about marriage, and if you do not wake up now, you will enter marriage like a romantic fool and leave it like a broken man. Because the real purpose of marriage was never just love. It was never just good morning babe and matching outfits. It was never I found my soulmate. No, marriage was originally designed for order, structure, legacy, and survival. Marriage was a contract, a serious agreement between two people to build a home, raise disciplined children, and create stability in the society. That's why marriage used to be respected, because it wasn't a playground for emotions. It was a system. A man brought leadership, protection, provision. A woman brought nurture, support, home building, and together they produced children that carries the family name, the family values, and the family future. That was the purpose. But now, listen to the most dangerous part. Modern society is trying to change that purpose. They do not want marriage to be about legacy anymore. They want it to be about feelings. They want you to believe marriage is about vibes, about happiness, about self-discovery, about finding yourself. And the moment the feelings disappear, they tell you, leave. You deserve better. And that is why divorce is now celebrated like a graduation ceremony. People do not fight for marriage anymore. They replace marriage the same way they replace phones. And let me tell you why. Because when marriage is strong, society becomes strong. Strong marriages create strong children. Strong children create strong communities. Strong communities create strong nations. But when marriage collapses, you get broken homes. You get fatherless boys. You get angry girls. You get confused children raised by TikTok and trauma. And that is the goal, because a society full of broken families is easier to control. A man without a family is easier to manipulate. A woman without stability is easier to exploit. A child without guidance becomes a product of the streets. And now, you see why marriage is under attack. They mock the traditional man. They shame masculinity. They call leadership toxic. They call discipline abuse. They call loyalty slavery. And they push this new nonsense idea that marriage is 50-50. But let me tell you something different today. Marriage is not 50-50 because life is not 50-50. Some days is 80/20. Some days are 100/0. Marriage is not about counting who did what. Marriage is about building something bigger than yourself. But modern society doesn't want sacrifice. They want selfishness. They do not want duty. They want pleasure. They do not want responsibility. They want freedom without consequences. And that is why people are getting married today with the mindset of a boyfriend and a girlfriend. That is why men marry women they cannot lead. And that is why women marry men they do not respect. That's why people enter marriage with lust and not purpose. And the result, a legal war. Because marriage is not romance. Marriage is a mission. So if you are a man listening to me, stop marrying for beauty. Stop marrying because you are lonely. Stop marrying because society is pressuring you. Marriage is not a trophy. Marriage is a burden you must be strong enough to carry. And if you are a woman listening, stop thinking marriage is a lifestyle upgrade. Stop thinking it's about soft life and Instagram pictures. Marriage is not a business deal. It is a partnership, submission to structure, and building a home. Because the truth is this, the real purpose of marriage is legacy. It is stability. It is generational strength. And the reason modern society is changing the purpose today, it is because they want a world where nobody is loyal. A world where nobody is disciplined, nobody is committed, just distracted, broken, and easy to control. So if you want to win in this generation, pay attention. You must treat marriage like what it truly is, a serious contract, a sacred duty, a life mission. Not a love story, because love without purpose is just entertainment, and entertainment doesn't build families, it destroys them. If you understand this message, you will never marry like a fool again. I am Logic from The Logic Man.